Yes, we are live. We have launched today the new book.
Today, yeah.
Today, this is the
After
day.
months of hard work.
Yes, many months of a lot of hard work. And if you're thinking, what? I already have your book, my Dutch book. Yes, this is my Dutch book, and this is my English book. And the English book, which is available internationally, of course, is out now, today, September 3rd, which also happens to be my birthday. So
Congratulations.
it is
Yeah.
just one big
Party.
one big party. Yes. So with party, we need champagne, of course. So this is why I asked Rick to join.
That's
to
my
help me.
only job today.
So anyway, our book or my book, this is something I started many months ago. I would say 6-7 months ago. Writing it. It was actually my old book, Video Smart. It's been 4 years since that book came out. And I just wanted to write a simple update. Well, that didn't work. Sorry, are you going to?
No, go keep telling. Yeah, I'm waiting.
So that didn't work. So I updated the book, but I made it into an entirely new book. I joined a wonderful publisher. And today we're going to talk to the designer of the book, who did an amazing job, Jason Velazquez. We'll talk about the design of the book. And of course, I'm also going to do a free workshop on video simplification, and we'll be joined by Gislaine in a little bit. But now you can pop it because yes, do it. Yes, all right. So this is alcohol-free champagne.
Oh no!
Yes, it is. I don't know what time it is where you are now. Let us know where you're watching from. But right now in Holland, in the Netherlands, where we're from, it's 4:00. And I'm going to ask and see if Gislaine can join us. Let's see. Hi, Gislaine. Yay!
Hello. Hi. I don't have champagne, but I have my bottle of water.
Nice. Cheers.
So cheers to your birthday and to the new book, of course.
Yes.
Nice.
I'm really happy that I can join you today. So
yes.
Nice.
Yes, of course. And Gislaine works with us, and she has worked a lot on the Video Smart Academy in the past couple of months, which is something we'll talk about in a little bit as well. And I also see Jason joined us already. Jason, can we say hi real quick? Is that okay? Hi.
Hey, how are you doing?
Hi, how are you?
Good.
Good to see you.
Good morning. What time is it over there?
It's a crispy, cool 10 a.m. over here.
Oh, wonderful.
Very early.
Well, we're going to talk to Jason in a little bit as well, because Jason is the designer of this wonderful book, and I'm so happy with the design. And it's funny because it took us one conversation and that was it. So
that's all I need.
It was an amazing job. So we'll do the workshop first, and Jason, then we'll get back to you. So you might have to wait for a little bit. So
no problem. I'm here sharing it to my audience, so we're all good.
Yes. Okay. All right. I'm so happy you're here. Okay. So
cheers. Happy birthday.
Thank you.
And have a good live show.
Thank you. Yes. I don't like champagne at all.
Especially the alcohol-free kind, right?
Yeah. Well, this was just for the show.
All right.
All right, Gislaine. Okay, so I'm going to first now start the workshop. Rick, thank you for joining. Thank you for...
Good luck.
Yes, thank you. Just wanted to let you know, if you have any questions, please let us know. Gislaine will join us as well. And every once in a while, I'll go back to her because she will also... do the workshop along with us. So Gislaine, thank you. I'm going to now, let's see if I can, yes, there we go. I'm going to present now, because what we're going to do is we're going to talk about simplifying your videos. And this is why I wrote this book. I do a lot of workshops and a lot of trainings at different brands and companies. And this is one thing that's always the main problem is people, it takes people a lot of time to create videos. And I'm sure this happens to you as well. So what I thought about when I wrote the book was people who struggle every day to make videos for social, for your company, for your brand, but keeping it simple. So this is why I believe you should just be able to make videos simply using your phone. And today we'll talk about video simplification. So we will dive into the art of making videos, but in a very simple way, and simply using your phone. So I'm going to share my screen here in a little bit if it works. There we go. And hopefully you can watch along with me. Okay, first things first, this is the book. Of course, you can get 50 plus video formats for your brand. There's a lot of practical tips in this book. There's many fresh ways to film with your phone. So different ways than maybe you're used to now. And I have a lot of apps and easy AI tools to edit videos. So it's out now, but let's now dive into the free workshop. Let's simplify your social videos in just 3 levels. My name is Pelpina, and this is what I do. I make videos. I've done it for many, many years, more than 15 years. I started as a social media reporter at CW in Dallas. So I lived in the United States for 10 years with my husband, Rick, who was just here. And then we moved back to the Netherlands. So that's where we're from. And when I started with big cameras and giant studios and big teams and absolutely loved it. But then things changed. We got a son, Liam, who's 13 now. And I had to find ways to make things faster and more simple. For myself. And I was one of the first in the industry, I think I can say this, to film in a professional way with smartphones a long time ago. So anyway, this is what I do. So I do trainings and I speak and I do workshops and I write books. Okay, so in a little bit after this workshop, we'll talk to Jason Velazquez, who actually designed this book. So we'll ask him about the design process, but also Jason has a great Instagram account, which I can't wait to talk to him about as well. So what can you expect in this workshop? I would like to talk to you about how you can try to make your videos less complex, because this is something that a lot of people struggle with. How can I come up with formats that are not as complex, especially when you work for a brand or a business or an organization? And today I'll show you 3 different levels and how you can do this. Now, what's the best way to save time? There's a lot of different ways, of course, to save time. You can save time by buying the right equipment, or changing your editing software, working with AI tools. But I think, in my opinion, the best way to save time is to have a good plan. So the best way to save time when you're filming and editing is before you start filming and editing. You need focus. And I'm just going to explain this very shortly because I can talk about this for a long time. But how do you get focus? Well, I get focus for every video I do. I think of 3 P's: people, platform, purpose. The people, that's your people. Who are your people? Who is your viewer? Who do you want to reach? What are their problems, their questions, themes? What platform can you reach them at? So if you know the first 2 P's, people and platform, you probably have an idea of the duration of the video. If your video should be vertical or horizontal, whether your video should have captions. So really focus on who is your audience, what platform, and the 3rd P, what's the purpose? What would you like your viewer to do or think or feel? So these, I can talk about this for a long time, but this is the foundation. Is first understanding who you're talking to, and then from that, you can start a video plan. And this is just an example of what that could look like. On the left of the screen, you see a very simple video plan, just something I like to draw it out. I like to divide it in different steps. And on the right, you see a video plan that is made with ChatGPT. And of course, you can also use AI to help you with video plans as well. Okay, so first step in this workshop, join us in creating videos. Pick up any item around you. Now I'm going to go to Gislana, and because I'm of course curious to see what she's going to grab. Hey.
Hi.
Hello.
Well, I was just setting up some things, and because I wanted to use this, but I never used it before. So
nice. Nice.
I think it's okay. So it's stable. So I was thinking about maybe that's the a step for later, but I'm not really comfortable filming myself. So I was thinking maybe I should do it while I'm here.
Yes, you should. This is a great example. Okay, so you can, of course, film yourself. And yes, you can do that. And it's a very good exercise, especially when you're not very comfortable in front of the camera. So yes, definitely do that, Gislana. But I think it's also a really good exercise for anyone who wants to dive into video creation. Film yourself. Have you ever filmed yourself while you were working? Or if you work for a brand or an organization, do you film your colleagues while they're working? And this is something, maybe just write it down, because this is a super simple exercise you can do. And also it can help you in coming up with video ideas. In a little bit, of course, I'll show you the different levels, because I think this would be a really good level 1 video, Gislana.
Yeah,
it's just working. You can film this right now.
And then I also wanted to show you that, of course, I have the Dutch book.
Yes.
And I was also looking at the course that I get for free with this book, and you also have it with the English book. I prefer the Dutch book, so I will do it in Dutch. But we also have it in English, so that's really good to know. And look what I've got.
Oh, you have the old book.
The old book, and this is in English. But to be honest, I haven't read a lot.
I was looking, do I still have a copy as well? So that's the old book from 4 years ago. Yeah, that was a long time, 4 years ago. And that actually became a bestseller.
Yeah.
That's really cool that you still have it. Yes. And I'm so happy that you mentioned this book comes with a free course. So yes, this is actually what Gislana has been working on, creating this course and doing all the work in the background. So yes. Okay. So let's go back to filming. You're going to film yourself. Yep. Maybe when you're watching this, if you're rewatching this later, pick up anything. A balloon would work. I don't know if you have a balloon somewhere. Maybe some water or a drink or coffee, a pen, piece of paper, anything will work. And then we're going to do some filming exercises with the topic, the object, or the person you picked. Okay, thank you, Gislana.
Yes.
Okay, so let's go back to our workshop, and let me go back to sharing my screen. Here we go. Okay, so I hope that you picked up an item somewhere around you. And here's what we're going to dive into. Level 1, I'm going to show you 3 different levels. And of course, we're starting with level 1. Level 1 is a one-shot video. This is super simple. You can find all these levels in my book as well. And you know, all these different formats that explain these levels more. Okay, so for example, you are introducing a new project, a new product, a new service, something that is new within your company. How would you do that? Well, I always ask this when I do a workshop at companies, and a lot of times people come up with pretty complicated video ideas. So they'll say like, so maybe we'll interview someone and then we'll shoot some B-roll, so some extra shots, and then we'll put that all together. And before you know it, you have a full video that's a few minutes that takes you at least half a day to film and edit. The question is it really necessary? And does your viewer really want to see that type of video? So a level 1 video makes it a lot simpler. It's just one shot of a new product, a new project, a new service, something that you're happy with. It could be a book. It could be something that you just ran into, an idea that you had, but just one shot. So let me show you an example. That's it. So it's really one shot of one product, because sometimes one shot is just enough. You don't need all the extra things. Of course, there was text in this video as well. So text can really help get your message across. But sometimes all you need is one shot. Here's another example. This one is nice for you, Gislana. Say you're introducing yourself, or you're introducing a colleague, coworker. This is something a lot of people find pretty scary. A lot of people are not big fan of being in front of a camera. And if you still have to make videos of these people, instead of doing an interview or letting them present on camera, you can also just have them work while you make one shot, and then you add some text. Here's an example of Dave King.
I don't know what you heard about me.
Now, there's a lot of text in there, super short, but also very simple, because Dave is just sitting there, smiling at the camera. Anyone can do this. And in text, you can add any information you want. You can add a lot of words like Dave does, which, by the way, is very smart, because the more words you add, the longer people will probably watch your video or keep watching it. So they're rewatching your video. So it's actually a smart thing to do. But maybe you're thinking, oh, no, not that many words. You don't have to add that many words, of course. But here's the idea. It's just one shot. Maybe one shot is enough. Here's another one. This one for a Dutch hospital, a place where they take care of older people. It's a Dutch account, but it works in every language, because there's no text and there's no one who says anything. And that's one of the benefits as well of a level 1 shot. That's it. Super simple. So you just show one part of an exercise. You show one part of a project. Maybe you're working on a huge project and you're thinking, well, but if I have to show this in video, that's going to be complicated. Maybe just show one little part. Maybe just show the part that you can show right now. So the question for a level 1 video is, what if you only had one shot? What if you only had one shot? Now, before we go to level 2, I want to go back to Gislana and see how she is doing. Let's see. Can I add you? Yes.
Hi. So I just filmed myself while I was backstage.
You did? You filmed yourself? Yes.
Yeah, only one take, but not what you meant. What you showed, only movement or something. I was talking for 1 minute.
Okay, good.
So I'm not sure if I'm going to post it, but I'm going to watch it later and see how I feel about it. Maybe I can send it to you and you can say what do you think about it?
Yes, do it. So we also have someone who's watching, Raquel, who says she has a service to rent out her apartment in Spain in a promo video. So I love it, Raquel. Thank you for sharing. So what would be a level 1 video to showing that you rent an apartment? I think there are different ways to do this. Of course, you can, of course, show the apartment itself. You can show people who are at the apartment. You can show one shot of the inside, like maybe perhaps the living room or the kitchen, and then walking to, I don't know if it has a balcony, but walking to the balcony or walking outside. What I would love to see in a video, a promo video for an apartment, and I don't know if this is for vacation, so I don't know if it's for holiday or for a longer period, but I want to have that feeling in that video. So if it's about vacation, it's sun, and just, wonderful life in Spain, I want you to capture that in that video. And in one shot. So maybe it's, there's like a glass of wine on the table, the sun is setting, and you're like walking through the apartment, you're giving that feeling. And then it could just be one shot. And if you want to be in the video, you can also, in one shot, you can talk about the apartment as well. Okay, do you have any ideas as well, Gislana?
not specifically, but one question for a one shot is
Yes.
what do you recommend for? Oh, sorry for the noise. What do you
It's okay.
recommend for how long the shot should take, or how long?
Oh, great question. Okay, so the one shot video should be as short as it has to, as it can be. So, for example, here is Raquel again. She says it has a balcony for holidays or longer at the coast. Raquel, I want to see what it feels like to be in your apartment. So I want to feel like I'm walking around there. And if it's a longer, if you're walking around in the apartment and then you're going outside on the balcony, you're showing the view, then you probably need a little bit more time, right? So then maybe it's like 20 or 25 seconds. If it's just one shot of the view, then maybe just 5 seconds is enough. But Raquel, I can see a lot of different one-shot videos for you. And so, yes, Raquel says, thank you. You're very welcome. So yes, Gislana, I think it really depends on the topic. We have another question from Marijke. My daughter is 13 years old and she sells tea with seeds in the labels, everything made by hand, good for bees and butterflies. But she is scared to show herself. Oh, yes. Well, how wonderful that she's doing this, first of all, and selling tea. That's so good. Okay, so if you don't want to be in the shot yourself, which I hear all the time, and of course, it would be best if we would see her, because that would probably make it a very, it would tell the story. But there's also another story here. So everything is made by hand. Maybe we can see her hands. So we see 13-year-old hands putting this together. You say it's good for bees and butterflies. Maybe you can show how or why it's good for bees and butterflies. If she doesn't want to show her face, maybe you can film a shot of her working, an over the shoulder shot like this. So you see that, it's a girl, she's working. You don't see her face, but you see that she's working on making this herself, because I think that's probably the most unique thing. She also, another thing, I have so many ideas, but you can also use her voice if she's comfortable with that. If she says it's okay to do a voiceover, so maybe she can speak and not be on video, but because we hear her voice, it feels like we get to know her a little better. So, okay, those were just a lot of different ideas, and I see more comments coming in. Oh, okay, so Marijke has another story or another question. We can't film children because I work with families in need, and we find support families for their children. Yes, and this is always difficult. I do this at schools. I go to places that take care of older people. I work with police and fire stations, and it's very difficult to, not be able to film people sometimes. So the answer I just gave you, I think, will already help. So filming shots of the things that you can show. Sometimes I remember when I did a video at a place for older people, and I only showed hands that were working or hands that were holding things, and it actually became a very beautiful video without showing the faces of people. Sometimes you can already tell stories. So I think the question is, what can you show? And of course, you can also do that with different filming techniques, but we don't have that much time right now to dive into that. But thank you, Marijke. Marijke says, thank you so much. So thank you, everyone, for sharing and asking. I don't have time to answer all of the questions, but definitely drop your questions, and we are very happy to help you. And now let's move on, because I think it's time for level 2, right, Gislana? What do you think? You ready?
Yeah.
Are you ready?
I have to pick an item for the shots, but yeah, it's okay.
Okay. Do it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna open up my screen again. So okay, I'm back, and let's go to a level 2 video. So let's see. Can I share my screen? Yes, here we go. Okay, so level 1 is just one shot. We know how to work a level 1 now. And now level 2, a slideshow of shots. So a couple of shots right after each other. These could be photos, these could be videos, but a slideshow of different pictures or videos. And usually it's used for an impression of an event or a day, what it's like to work somewhere. What is it like to be, what was today like for you, for example? If you would have different shots and different pictures, if you would put them right after each other, that's a level 2 video. Okay, so let me give you another example. This is of a Dutch hospital that had an exposition. Start with an establishing shot. People in every shot. Little movement. Okay. So I think you get it. A level 2 video is different shots right after each other. And the great thing about this is that it doesn't need a lot of editing skills anymore, because there are a ton of AI tools that can help you with editing these types of videos. So they can put the shots and the videos at the beat, on the beat of the music for you. Here's another example of a level 2 video for products.
What do you think about this?
I love it.
What about this?
I love it more.
How about this?
I love it.
So you can also show a couple of picture or a couple of products right after each other. Also a level 2 video. It's not too complicated to film. And it's also not that complicated to edit. Now, here's a level 2 video that's different quotes. This is a bit more difficult to edit. But I do want to show this to you because I made this in Canva. And I know a lot of you are working in Canva or work with Canva, but have never really used it for video. And I just want to show you this because you can also create videos in Canva, and Canva is actually developing that pretty fast.
Right at the intersection of user interface and machine learning is Vincent Warmerdam.
And this is
He
all
builds tools
filmed
in
with
that
my phone.
space with the company Explosion. And Vincent will live code some examples at a new tech conference, Lips on the Radar.
But I do think like that
And
intersection
all of
between
these
user
are
interfaces and-
different short videos that were filmed on phones and edited with Canva. So there's a lot of apps and tools out there that are very simple to use. The thing is, you have to know how to use them correctly. Okay, so my question to you is, what can you show in multiple shots? Can you show an impression? Can you show a project you're working on? Can you show your colleagues a theme that will happen this fall? What can you show in different shots? Now let's dive into editing, and I'm not going to dive into editing very long because I could, and then we'd still be here in 2 hours. And I also really want to talk to Jason. So one tip. The fastest way to edit a level 2 video, if you haven't done this before, try it. The fastest way to edit a level 2 video is with edit templates. There are a lot of edit templates out there. You see a couple of apps here. It's CapCut, has templates in Reels. So in Instagram Reels, there's templates. And in Canva, there are templates as well. And what these templates do is you add your shots, your videos to the template, and the template already has music, and the shots will be edited on the music for you. Now, let me show you in Instagram. So you see use template on the screen. So if you tap use template, then it will actually open up the template. You'll see the empty slots at the bottom. So the 2.2 and the 0.9 are the seconds, and the slots are empty now. So if you add your media, so if you select your own pictures, your own videos, once you select them, they will also appear at the bottom. Do you see that in the different slots? So once all the videos and pictures are added, then you just hit the arrow, and then it will generate your reel, and it will add it to the beat of the music for you. It might cut your shots a little bit, but you can change that up afterwards as well. And this is just one example of how you can use edit templates. And of course, this is one app. This is Instagram Reels, but there are so many more apps that are very useful apps like CapCut, Captions, Canva. So for more apps, of course, check out my book, which is out today. If you missed it, it's out today, out now. And I'm just showing you, some of the tools and some of the steps in this free workshop. But of course, for much more, definitely check out my book, which is out right now. And if you do that, then you can edit a video within a few minutes with multiple shots, music, and transitions, and it can look good instantly. Let me go back to Gislana real quick because I would love to hear her thoughts on the level 2 videos as well. Hi.
Hi.
Hello.
So I just finished one shot.
Yes, you did?
I took, how many shots did I take? I think 3 of the book, of course, the Dutch book. That was the most. Book. Yeah. So I'm not really sure if I did the right thing, but I did 2 shots of the book in different angles.
Good. Yes.
And 1 time lapse of myself reading the book.
Oh, that's good. That's really good. So I like what you said about different angles, because I don't think I even mentioned that. And this is one of the things that can really make your level 2 video stand out, is if you use different angles. So if you're not sure what that means, instead of only filming like this in front of your eyes, right? So you're holding the camera in front of your eyes, try and see if maybe you can put your camera a lot higher or a lot lower, or maybe even flip it like this, put it very close to something, put it above someone or something. So really change the angles, and that will change the way your video looks. And I also really like, Gislana, that you said that you changed the speed as well. Raquel has a question, and she says, are these tools for free? Really good question. So they all have a free version. Instagram Reels is for free. Canva is free, but the AI tools in Canva are not free. And CapCut also has a free version, but not everything in that free version is, or not everything in CapCut is free. So certain things, like for example, the automatic captions, since April, you now have to have a pro account on Captions for that. So there's definitely things changing as well. Okay, now are you ready for level 3?
Yeah, I think I am.
I don't know if I'm ready for level 3. I think I'm just going to show a couple of examples, and then we'll go to Jason, because Jason also has, I think, a lot of interesting things to say as well, and we can talk about the book design too. But first, let's dive into level 3. Gislana, thank you.
Yes.
Okay. It says banned from studio when I go to her, click on her face. It scares me every time because I don't want to ban Gislana. So, okay, let's go back and let's go to level 3, the final level that I'll share with you today. Of course, there is a lot more to tell and to explain. But with the time that we have right now, I'm going to cover just a few things. And level 3 is a person with a couple of shots. So this is really what a more traditional video looks like. This is what we often think of when we think of video. This is what we think of: someone who's talking. Meanwhile, you see shots of things that they're talking about. Say dog, see dog. Whenever you talk about a dog, you show a dog. And this is also what we call A-roll and B-roll. But usually a level 3 video involves a person explaining something while we see what they're talking about. Now, here's an example. This is Yusuf Omar. I don't know if you know Yusuf. If not, definitely follow Yusuf, because he's definitely one of my people, but someone I follow to stay up to date on the latest trends. Yusuf was one of the first mobile journalists in the world. He travels the world to speak about mobile journalism. So I'm a huge fan. And he's also in my book, by the way. Yusuf has a great quote in my book. I was able to interview him. Anyway, so this is a level 3 video of Yusuf.
Into reality is going to change every aspect of our lives when we move from the QWERTY keyboard being the primary input to technology to the camera and overlaying information onto the world.
Okay, I don't know if you could hear it quite well, but Yusuf is on the beach. He's explaining something. And while he's talking, you see images next to him. Also, you see captions. So there's a lot of things happening in one frame. And that means that there's a lot of different layers when you're editing. This also means when you're filming, you have to think of all the different ways you're going to visualize what he's talking about. So a level 3 video is often a lot more complicated. It takes more effort to plan it out, to get someone to talk to the camera or be on camera, to find the right shots to get to accompany that video. So a level 3 video is a bit more complicated, but often very, very useful, especially when you want someone to explain something and when you want to have a personal connection with someone. So if you want to build trust, a level 3 video is perfect because this is people, it's someone. Okay, so another example, this is a video of me. I show an app called Captions, and I show how it can change the eye contact. So this app, if you're not looking directly into the camera lens, this app can fix that after you filmed your video.
Create videos with AI. Testing the eye contact tool in the app Captions. So if you don't look directly into the camera lens, maybe because you're reading a script or you have trouble looking directly into the camera lens, this AI tool in this app actually enhances your eye contact.
So you see on the left is the original video, and on the right is the new one.
On the right. So it looks pretty good. But now let's take it a bit closer. And here you will see the...
Okay, so that's actually done with the app Captions, if you were curious. One of the apps I really like because it has a ton of AI tools and it's very good with renewing. So anyway, so the best way to grab attention with video, what's the best way to grab attention with video? Of course, it's movement, it's action. It could be music, especially on TikTok and Instagram. Music plays a huge role. It could be the text in your video, the text placement and the colors. It could be how vivid your video is. But there's one other thing that is the most important part of a video besides all these other things, and that is people. The best way to grab attention in your video is with people. So if it's possible, put a person in front of the camera, show people. It doesn't mean that they have to talk to the camera. It doesn't mean they have to look into the lens if that's something that's scary. At least show people at work, show people working together, laughing together. Make it real. Don't make it like a little play. What is it called? When you know that it's fake, or when you're filming and you feel like it's fake, then stop filming and make real videos. At least that's what I think. Okay, so that's I can talk about this for a long time. Also, how to get people in front of your lens. And I have a ton of tips on interviewing people, different techniques on how to get people to loosen up in front of a camera lens. Or if you have to speak or say something in front of a camera, how do you get more comfortable in front of a camera lens? All these tips are in my new book, which is out right now, today, first day. And now that we're speaking about my new book, I would really like to add someone to the studio, Jason, who has been waiting for a little while. So Jason, thank you so much. Gislena, we're going to say bye. I'm first going to say bye to Gislena. Thank you so much for joining us for the workshop.
Yes.
Yes, really appreciate it, your time.
Yes.
And, we'll see you later.
Yeah, bye.
Bye. All right, and then I would like to add Jason to the stage.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
It's afternoon where you're at, but it's good morning over here.
It's all good. It's all good.
That's right.
Yes, it's afternoon here. But how are you?
I am well. I'm enjoying, like, as I mentioned to you before, it's nice and fall is starting to set in. So I'm feeling some
Oh,
the autumn mountain air this morning. I'm quite happy.
I'm not ready. I'm not ready.
I
I
know.
need more summer.
My wife says the same thing. She says, "Please don't." I go, "I know, I
No,
know."
it's still summer. I'm
It
not ready.
is, it is.
All right, Jason, I want to thank you for making this design. So for if you don't know, he designed this book. So all the pretty colors, and I don't know if you can see it okay, but it's just so pretty. I love it so much.
I'm
And
so
the
glad.
wonderful thing is, and I was just telling everyone this, um, it took one conversation.
That's right.
It was one call. It was incredible. It really was incredible. It's like you knew what I meant. And of course, I have this thing in my head. I'm like, oh, it has to look like this, or I want this.
Yeah,
But then you made it. And what I love about this is, I think the best thing you said about this is you want this to be like a YouTube thumbnail.
correct.
Because yes, because I remember we had a conversation. I was like, I don't know, Jason, it's weird. There's a play button and a record button, and that's weird because you cannot record and play at the same time.
Right, right.
Um, and then you said, but that's not the point. The point is people need to look at the book and immediately understand what it's about. And I
Right,
think you even said, I don't know if you mentioned Mr. Beast, but you said thumbnail, YouTube thumbnail. And
right,
then I
yeah.
was like, yes, that's it. You're
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, if you look on YouTube, it's just so much content on there. But if you look at the most popular ones, everything is very thumbnail based because we eat with our eyes. It's very, very rare that someone reads
Mhm.
first before they see. It's like when you go to a buffet and you're starving, right? You see all this food,
Yeah,
and typically, if you don't know better, you fill your plate with this food because you think you're hungrier than you actually are, but you're not reading what you actually need. So it's kind of the same concept that we want to give people a buffet and they look at it and they just eat it. It's just how it is. We see the picture first before we read the actual thing.
it's so good because this really changed my mind. Because at first I was like, oh, but it's not correct.
Right. I mean,
I couldn't get over it.
how many times do we go to a bookstore and we are drawn by the cover? I mean, we say
Yes,
don't judge a book by its cover, but we do. We
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 do.
see it and we judge it. The content can be absolutely terrible, but most of the time, if the cover looks good, it'll be purchased, it'll be read, and
Yes.
then people will figure out if it's a good book or not after the fact.
Yes, and what people probably don't see, but that my shirt was not this color. Oh, you can, by the way. So this is the Dutch cover.
Hey, there it is. Yeah.
So all of a sudden, I'm wearing a different color shirt. Oh my
Yeah.
goodness! And then you
Well,
did the same on the back with the chair. I know
exactly. Well,
that's
one of
the
the things I wanted to do is your book was already a good cover. Your original book,
You mean
right?
this one, right?
Yes,
Right?
that
Right?
that one, yes, exactly. So I wanted to take the same elements and just make
Yeah.
I used it because I am a retro gaming fanatic. I used the
Yes. Right.
example of the original Nintendo from 1985 or so. The Japanese have their version, and then they made an American version, and it's the same thing, but it's different. It's
Yes.
just who it appeals to. But I still wanted to utilize the same good things from the last book, which we did. I think we captured it
Yeah, I
greatly.
think you did it so well. Like you captured it so well. I'm so happy about it. Now, you mentioned something about gaming, and I would
Hmm.
like to dive into that a little bit more, if you
Sure,
don't mind,
sure.
because we started talking last time we spoke about your YouTube channel, but now your Instagram,
Right.
because this is one thing you do is retro games, right?
That's correct. That's correct. So, about 10 years ago, I turned 30. And it's funny because throughout your 20s, you think you have to grow up and you forget your childhood and you think you need to do this thing. When I turned 30, I said, no, I don't want to do that anymore. And I decided I wanted to start collecting my old Actually, I have one right here from Nickelodeon. Uh, so, oh, here we go. Let's turn the volume down here. But
Oh,
this is an old relic from when I was like 10. So I started
really?
looking for different things of my childhood, and I said I want to be a kid again. It allowed me to start my channel on YouTube. And
Yes.
eventually go on Instagram, which became my main platform that I just absolutely love. Um, but because of that, it just allowed me to just not grow up so fast. And now that I'm entering my 40s soon. Happy birthday, by the way.
Thank
Right? It's your
you.
birthday. That's right. I was like, hey, look at that. As I
39, level
Right,
39.
right,
Yes.
right. We want to make sure we get that number right. But as I enter my 40s, I'm still going strong collecting these toys, and they're all
Awesome.
over my desk. I wish I could show you my desk, but it's all over the place. I even have
Well,
an old
but you
Nintendo.
haven't. Oh, look at that. That's so awesome. And it started really from like when you were little, this
Yeah.
passion, and now
Mhm.
you've picked it up again. And how did you grow this Instagram account? Because it's really impressive. You have 17K followers, but all organic. So
Right.
I think we all know people who buy their followers, or you see their account and you're thinking, well, something's up, because I don't think these are all real followers. But in your case, it's all organic. So how did you do it? How
You
long?
know,
What did you do?
it's interesting because, as I started, the goal was not to
Mm,
gain popularity. It was to fall in love with what I was, collecting. And because I was already in media, I'm a photographer and videographer by trade. I do media design. I'm just good at it, and I'm naturally good at it, as well as just growing my skill set professionally. I said I wanted to bring that to this. So all I started was I just started taking pictures. The
huh.
videos didn't come until later on, and I started a YouTube channel, and I would cover things from the 80s and 90s that I enjoyed. And because I enjoyed it, I think people saw the authenticity behind that. Now,
Yeah.
as I grew, here's the ticket, because as I grew, I started to go, I can make this into something. And this is a
Mhm.
very dangerous valley to be in. And I think it's
Mhm.
because we tend to be very that authenticity starts to get blurred a little bit. We
Yeah.
start we start getting those inboxes of, I can grow your audience to 40,000 if you pay $400 or here and there. And you think about it for a
Yes.
second. I'm not going to say that I didn't think about it. I said, if
Yep.
I pay $40, I can get 400 extra views or this and that. And then it comes to the point where people eat with their eyes, right? If people see that I have 40K followers, they might think that I'm the real deal, and then they'll want to see my content. But
Mhm.
your content doesn't lie.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
if there is someone, and I might get in trouble for this, but if there is someone that has 40K, 50K followers, but each one of their posts have less than 50 likes,
Yes.
that's a red flag, right?
Exactly.
Content will speak for itself. I've seen people that have 5,000, 4,000, 3,000 followers that have more interaction with their audience than those that have the 100Ks or the 40Ks. So
Absolutely.
I'm very proud of my 18,000. Each one of them
Yes.
were gained organically, um,
Yes.
and the interactions are real. Now, some people fall off over time. I mean, this is an
Yeah.
8-year-old
Of
content,
course. Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh, so, you may start at 5,000 likes and then eventually it gets to 300. Like, that's okay. But
Yeah.
you continue doing what you're doing, and if you love it, people will see the authenticity behind it.
I
That's
love that. I love it so much, Jason. And what you said about, at some point, and you get at a point where you're thinking, oh, this is actually growing, and maybe I
Mhm,
should do something more with this, or should this be the focus? I remember when I was about 6,000 followers on LinkedIn,
mhm.
and then I became obsessed with the amount of followers. Um,
Right.
yes, right? Because it's like, oh, now it's a thing.
It's the
So
dopamine. It's the dopamine drip. Every time you get a like, you're like, "Ooh, ooh, it's a win."
yes, and it really I think for almost a year, I was obsessed with the amount of followers, likes, views, and then after a couple of months, I realized, but this isn't it. This is not
Mhm,
why I do what I do.
mhm.
So exactly what you said. I started just I love creating content, and that's why I put out tips. And
Right.
I share my ideas, and I share these apps because I think
Yep.
everyone should be able to do this. And but there definitely has been a point, and it took me several months,
Mhm.
maybe a year, to realize that's not what it's about. It's
Right.
not about that number. And I think they call
Right.
it vanity metrics now,
Right.
because it really is. But it's so fascinating to hear you say this as well, because I think, especially, and I have a lot of businesses, companies, and you too, I'm sure, who I work for, who are very focused on the numbers and very focused on the amount of views and followers and on all the vanity metrics. And it's
But I think
then,
you'll start seeing, I think the companies and the people are starting to realize they've been bamboozled for so long. And then they'll
mhm.
start seeing a lot of these people, they go, "Oh, okay, let's start going back to the roots. Start going back to the lower counts and see what the interactions are like."
Yes. I actually now recommend companies not to work with big influencers, but
Yes.
to look at micro influencers, but people
Yes.
who have a true passion, who really know what they're talking about, and who have a true following. Because
Correct.
you could, having 200 very committed followers is worth so much more than 20,000 who
100.
don't even care about what you say.
100%.
So
100.
yeah.
Yes,
Anyway, I don't know how we got here, but
yeah.
that was
Well, it's good because,
fascinating.
so for example, for me, and I'll just use this, this retro gaming thing.
Yeah.
You have to know your audience, right? So it's if you start talking to the individual, you said you see a dog, you speak about a dog and you show the dog, right?
Yes,
You say dog,
exactly. Say
you
dog,
show
see
dog.
dog.
And
Yes.
it's like, well, if I'm talking about a Game Boy, for instance, I'm like, okay, I have this new Game Boy. It's this, this thing here. And then I start showing the B-roll.
Mhm.
And I make it to the point where people will start drooling over the thing and they want that thing. And then they go, "How did you get that? What is that?" And then you start this interaction thing. I think that's the most fun. It's you create the content, but it's that you get to talk about the dish that you created or whatever it is.
So
Companies start seeing that.
yes, and I also really believe in that when you have fun and when you're enjoying what you're talking about or whatever you're making, it shows. It shows in
Yes.
the videos, it shows in your body language and your energy. The
Yes.
videos that I film on the fly, because I don't know, I have this thought or this idea and I'm just like, I'm filming this.
Right.
They usually get so much more interaction and people
Right.
enjoy them so much more than the videos I prepare and I have the
Isn't that
script
weird?
and I'm like,
It's so
yes.
funky, and it frustrates me because I'm like, if you only knew how much time I put in, like,
Mm,
I have I have
yes.
I have 2 forms of content. I like to call it this, I call it the food truck content versus the restaurant content, alright?
Ooh, yes.
So there's 2 types of people that consume your content. It's those that will sit down for 15 minutes and sit at your restaurant and really enjoy the menu, and then there's the food truck content where people don't have time for that. They need that quick service, they need those 3 items on your menu, and they're in and out, right?
I
And
love it.
it's
Yes.
the restaurant stuff that I've actually stopped doing, because it's very time consuming. I don't have 4 hours all the time to be doing that, but the short-term content, the food truck content, it ends up being more fun because it's more challenging. It's like, "Okay, how can I record this in 15 minutes, and how can I edit this in 15 more minutes? If I can do this in a half an hour, then the ROI is insane. It's absolutely insane." And then
Isn't
you
that
challenge yourself, you
incredible?
get better and better. Yeah.
But I also think it's because you're more true, like you film yourself in a more authentic way. It's without all everything being perfect, with,
Right.
the makeup background, everything
Right.
in the perfect spot. It's people see more real you. And I feel
Absolutely.
like we all need that a little bit more.
Yes. Oh,
Real people.
100%. Yeah,
Yes.
absolutely. Yeah, I think authenticity, we've downplayed it for so long. We've known this from the early 2000s that reality TV is not reality TV. And the
Oh,
truth is things are just so scripted. If people could just be just shoot at the hip, as they say, just a little bit more a little more candor, a little more
yeah.
real, uh
Yes.
people will sniff out fake. They will. They just will.
They
And
will.
they just want the real deal.
Yes, and also as a content creator, I think I've seen a lot of content creators come and go,
Mhm.
um, because they jump on the thing and they're like, oh, so it's all about balloons now. So let me, create
Pelpina,
videos about balloons.
I've been thinking about this all week, and I actually came up.
Really?
I wanted to quote this quote that I quoted the other day.
You
And,
did.
and it has to
What's
do
the
with
quote?
the quote. I haven't really refined it. I like, I want to work on it, but it has to do with that that talent is not uncommon these days. It's
Mm.
incredible how much talent is in this world. We get it. TikTok, there are everybody and their grandmother are talented. They can do flips, they can run on buildings, they can sing, they can dance. We get it. Consistency
Ooh,
is not.
yes.
And
So
that's the
good.
issue, is that everybody will jump on a trend. Everybody will jump on a talent to hope to get, I don't know, discovered. It's not, again, it's not 2008 anymore. It's a different time, but it's just, it's oversaturated. But consistency is very uncommon. I
Oh,
wouldn't say rare, but it's uncommon. And if
so true.
people, if consistency plus talent go hand in hand, and oh my gosh, you're gonna be so well. But the
Yeah.
mediocre talent with consistency will still be successful. The
Yes, exactly.
untalented with consistency, with I wish I knew this quote. I remember this quote, but there's a quote that I saw somewhere that said, uh, the the one with the plan, that's not talented would actually be more successful than the talented without the plan, or something like that.
Oh,
And it goes along those lines. I know I'm butchering
yes.
it, but it's the truth. If
It's
you
so
have
true.
a plan and stay consistent, you will see success.
Yes, and I think for you too, you've probably seen so many content creators come and go.
Mhm.
Especially if you do what you enjoy doing. I've seen so many people like 5, 7 years ago were like, okay, now I'm gonna do videos as well. And then after a year, they're done. Or 2 years,
Yeah,
they're done
yeah.
because it's hard.
It's
You really
tiring.
have to enjoy this. Like writing a book about something,
Oh,
it
I can't
takes
imagine.
time.
Yes.
Like you really have to enjoy a topic, and as you said,
Yeah,
you have to be very consistent. um
absolutely.
so otherwise it's really difficult, and in this age of TikTok and super fast, everyone's a talent era.
Mhm,
Yeah, it sometimes gets overlooked, I think,
mhm.
but consistency, that's
Consistency key.
that's that's key. Yes,
Mhm.
I love it. I think that's a great way to end this. I don't know if you
Absolutely.
have any more thoughts.
No,
uh,
I'm actually working on a lot of cool things. I've boldly labeled myself as a media and branding consultant now, so I'm looking forward to that new era of our
yeah.
company. And for the Game Boy Zero side, which is, if anyone out there is interested in Game Boy stuff, it's Game Boy Zero with Zero, all one word, on Instagram. I'm actually starting a new show. It's called Bits and Bytes. Well, I'll be doing
Oh,
travel, uh, going to different smaller restaurants, more, family owned type restaurants, and also showing video game spots wherever I travel. So
really?
yeah,
Oh, that's really cool, Jason. And is
thanks.
that on the same account? Or are
So
you
that
gonna
will be
start
on the Game Boy Zero account. Yes, the other
with Zero?
consulting stuff I will be sharing and actually doing videos to help people grow their media, their business, for and things like that. So
Oh
I'm
my
looking
goodness.
forward.
We're gonna have to stay in touch because you guys, Jason is so talented.
Ah,
Like
appreciate
I
that.
said before, no, but it's really true. I worked with a lot of different designers, also for this Dutch book, but also for the books before. And I love, because I have this visual image in my head, and I'm sure you do too. It's like
Oh yeah,
I'm
us
looking for
creatives,
this.
that's what it is.
And it's really difficult to explain that sometimes, especially if someone just has a different view or
Mhm.
different style. And of course that happens. But it was just incredible to work with you,
I
to
appreciate it.
have one
Likewise.
conversation. And you said the first design, and I was like, it's incredible. Like everything we talked about, it's in here.
That's
I
great. I'm
loved
glad.
it so much. So I'm sure this is not the last time we're going to work together. And you're
Great.
really a one stop shop, right? You do a lot of different things. It's not
Anything
just
visual and
designing,
audio. Yes.
visual and audio. So that's
Yes.
a
Yeah.
lot.
Yeah, you need custom
Podcasting?
music. Yeah, you need movie music, video game music, voiceovers, so that
Wow.
audio related as well. But when it comes to media design, visually, I'm there for it as well. Mhm.
Wow. Okay. So if I ever start a podcast or if
More
I
than
need
happy to
music for my
consult.
video.
Yep. And more than happy to help with that. Yep.
Okay. Well, Jason, I'm so happy that we met. Thank you so
Likewise.
much for your time.
Thank you for
And
having me. I appreciate it.
for designing this. I'll be forever grateful. I'm so proud of it. I already received so many compliments
Oh, I'm
because
so
I
glad.
sent this book before it came out to maybe
Yes.
10, 15 people, and everyone was so impressed by how it looks. So
Awesome.
thank you.
Thank
And
you.
thank
I
you for
appreciate
this
you.
wonderful conversation.
No, thank you for having me. Look forward to
All
meeting again.
right. Yes, we will meet. We will meet again. All right, everyone. Thank you for watching. Again, my book is out today. If you missed it, if you watched an hour and you missed it, it's out right now. So go to Amazon and get your copy. Thank you so much for joining us, and hopefully see you next time. Bye bye. Doei.